Thunderbird Nation, welcome to the Thunderbirds Coaches Show alongside head coach Tracy Sanders. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll get into all the details about this previous weekend, but first we'll hear from Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen is a proud sponsor of T-Bird Athletics and all things SUU. Warehouse is committed to serving up joy through local food, crafted cocktails, beer, music, and entertainment. Warehouse provides a safe and friendly environment for 21 years and older, and events that will create lasting memories and unforgettable times in Cedar City. Warehouse shows all your favorite sports games and has great food, live music, karaoke, pool tables, and a huge dance floor. Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen wants to remind you to always have fun and drink responsibly. Coach, congratulations
Thank you.
on winning the regular season title and the tournament title in Las Vegas. Just speak on that for a second and how important that is for the program. First time ever in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, a huge step for us, for the program. I think a huge step for our team. You know, I think as a coaching staff, we believe this could happen, you know, when we put this team together. Really, I think Tamika was kind of the last one we added to our roster, and we just knew she'd be a huge piece of the puzzle. And you know, we just felt like we had to get through that preseason and kind of get us all on the same page, get us healthy, and we knew that, you know, there was potential to do some great things with this team. But obviously, then, you know, you got to take care of business, and they did an awesome job during conference, and you know, we lost 2 really, really tough games on the road, but we're able to bounce back and finish strong here at home, and then just sparked us really going into the conference tournament.
Yeah, speaking of home, undefeated at home in conference play. Just speak on that, how important the home court advantage is, and also the fans just always showing up, and huge numbers down in Las Vegas for the championship final. Just speak on that for a second.
It's been huge. I mean, honestly, it's been so much fun just building the crowd too, you know, and we've always said we got to get people here, and then we got to give them a good product, something that they want to watch, something they're excited about, and that's a testament to this team. You know, they're playing hard. They're winning games. You know, it's fun to watch a team that's winning. And so it's just been awesome to have the community support, the student support. Thunder Crew's just been super helpful in trying to help us get people here. And, you know, one of the things I love about this university, too, is you have the other athletes that support each other. So, you know, you see the football team up there. You see gymnastics sitting behind our bench, volleyball, you know, whoever it is. Like, the men's team, you know, I feel like every sports team kind of has their little section, and it's fun to look around and see all those people there.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, you know, community atmosphere here at SU and just in Cedar City alone. And yesterday was Selection Sunday, and the Thunderbirds are playing number 3 seed Notre Dame. Just talk about, you know, how big is it to make the NCAA tournament, but also you said yesterday that you have a little history as a player at your time at St. Mary's versus Notre Dame. Just speak about that.
Yeah, I think it's such a special opportunity. You know, now there are quite a few tournaments in the postseason, but this is obviously the big one.
Yeah.
You know, this is the one that you're always aiming for, and it's just such a special thing to be able to do, and something that they're going to remember forever. So I'm just proud of them. You know, I know all the work that goes into getting there and the excitement around it. And, you know, yesterday we're sitting there waiting to find out who we're going to play, and you can just tell we're all exhausted, you know, just tired. It's been a long couple weeks, but you still just get that adrenaline and that excitement when you see your team pop up, and just such a big accomplishment. So we're super excited. You know, I think it's great. I'm excited about our matchup. I think it's a good matchup for us. You know, obviously now we start the preparation and getting ready for that. It is there's a little bit of irony in that, you know, when I went as a player, that's who we played at Notre Dame, and played a close game. I think we were up by 5 or 4 with a couple minutes left, and then they made a run. But, you know, their head coach was a player when I was a player, so it's just kind of a fun little, you know, basketball small world. But I think, you know, our girls will be excited. It's going to be a fun trip, fun place to go. Great atmosphere, you know, Notre Dame on St. Patrick's Day. Like, I don't think you can ask for a better atmosphere. So, you know, we got to be ready to go, and it's going to be fun.
It's absolutely going to be fun for sure. And Notre Dame is one of the most premier programs in women's basketball.
Absolutely.
And they are in the ACC. How is the ACC different from the Western Athletic Conference?
Yeah. I mean, I think at this level, it's bigger, faster, stronger, you know? We're going to have to take care of business. And it's one of those things where, like, you're going to have to play with a lot of heart. You're going to have to play with, you know, intensity. And we're going to have to play bigger and faster and stronger than maybe we are. But I have no doubt in this team. You know, I think that's what we do is we come out and whatever team we're playing, like, we're going to bring our best game, and we're going to know that, you know, we have to box out harder because they might be a little bit bigger than us or whatever it is. So you have to win the 50-50 balls. You have to have the hustle plays, and you have to have that heart that you just really wanted.
Yeah, and also rumors that Notre Dame's going to be out with their top scorer is going to be out as well, maybe in the first round. You know, just speak on that and how important that could be just to shut down the rest of the offense.
I mean, that might be a little mental thing for us, but I think at the end of the day, they're a great program. You know, I'm sure whoever they have filling in that spot, people coming off the bench, they have great players. So, you know, I think that's one of those things that, you know, we're going to prepare for everyone. And if she's playing, she's not playing, however it works out. But we just have to be ready for whoever's on the court.
Definitely. So the matchup is this Friday. Time yet to be determined.
I think they said 3:30. I think 3:30 has been locked in. Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be 3:30 Central Standard Time.
3:30 Eastern.
Oh, Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 1:30 Mountain Time.
Here. Yep.
Okay. You heard it there. Now, looking back to this previous weekend in Las Vegas for the WAC tournament, give us your opening thoughts of how the tournament, went and your overall thoughts of it.
I mean, anyone who watches ESPN knows how our first game went.
Yeah.
You know, I think I don't know if it was a little bit of jitters. I don't know if, you know, beating a team 3 times is just really tough. But I didn't feel like we had a great first half. You know, we were down. We buried ourselves into a deep hole. We were able to come back and make a run. I think that second half team was kind of, you know, the team that we've been seeing. And so it was great to make a comeback and make a push. And then, you know, towards the end, honestly, things just worked in our favor. I mean, you have a player that you fouled. She's hit 6 straight free throws, and then she misses those last 2. You know, we have, I think, May got an and one, Sharita got an and one, Sam got a couple free throws just on a offensive rebound that she kind of just flung up there, and then you know, that last second shot by Sharita was just incredible, you know, and you just have to say, okay, there's a higher power that's helping us out right now because the way things fell into place and the way things were lined up, I mean, it was a miracle shot. Yeah. And just it couldn't happen to a better person at a better time in a better situation.
Yeah, me and Dan Richards were on the call for the radio down there, and we're thinking 3.4 left, like something has to happen.
Yeah.
And Sharita tossed it up, and didn't feel like in slow motion to us. Did it feel like in slow motion for you guys?
You know, it's funny because there's a lot. I remember in the timeout saying like, hey, we're good. These are the moments when we shine, you know, and I've said that to them multiple times this year, and we've kind of come back and made some runs. And at that point in my mind, I'm like, can we do this, you know? And then I saw the pass get deflected, and they did a great job. I mean, they knew we were probably going to go to Sharita or Tamika, so they did a good job of covering them. And I saw it get deflected. I saw Sam jump back out of bounds to get out of the way. And then I saw, you know, Sharita grab it. And at that time, you know, you're not looking at the clock anymore. You're kind of looking to see what's going on and going back and forth. And yeah, I mean, at first I was like, oh, she should have tried to draw a foul, you know, and then I see it going and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going in, you know? And I think anyone who kind of had that angle, like you could see it was like, there was a chance it was going to go in, and then it was just a straight swish. So just remarkable. I mean, I think at first I was just kind of in shock. You know, everybody's running out on the floor and I'm just like, I think in my head, I'm just like, wow, did that really just happen? Did that really just happen? And then, you know, they went back to look like, did she get it off in time? Is it a 3? You know, because in that situation too, you're just trying to tie the game. You're trying to get to the free throw line, best shot you can get to stay in the game. So the fact that we won on that shot too was pretty remarkable. Yeah.
And after Sharita hit that shot, in my mind, just they have to win it all now. You know, you know.
Well, and honestly, having that day off after was huge because, I mean, I'm sure they were getting messages all night, but like my phone was blowing up. So trying to sleep after a game like that is really hard, really tough. So I'm just glad we got that extra day where we could kind of regroup and get focused and really sit down and be like, okay, we are lucky to be where we are. Now let's make the most of this.
Yeah, and, you know, It was on Sports Center, best thing Scott Van Pelt
Yep.
saw that day. Just overall amazing.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the semifinal matchup, faced GCU, who's also a great defensive team, along with New Mexico State, who you guys played in the quarterfinals. What was the game plan versus GCU? Because they were ranked top
Right.
10 in the nation in steals per game as a
Right.
team. Was ball handling a aspect you guys keyed on?
Yeah.
Just talk about the overall game plan.
You know,
in the semifinal.
I think every game we've had with them, that first quarter, especially those first couple minutes of the game, it's like we have to adjust to the pressure. We can tell them this is how it's going to be, but until they're actually out there handling it, they don't realize, like, okay, you know, they're coming and they're coming hard. So taking care of the ball was huge because we felt like, you know, they were gonna do stuff on the offensive end based on their defense.
Yeah.
You know, they're not a team in the half court. I felt like we could defend them pretty well. It was the transition and the layups and the steals, that extra possessions for them, that we were going to struggle with. So I think it just took us a while to calm down and handle the pressure. And you know, it's funny. I think even those last two games, we shot a lot of free throws. And you know, I'm reading all this stuff after the game. You know, people are upset that they felt like we got foul calls. We're not a high-pressure team. We don't go trap. We don't, you know, teams that do that, like, you're going to put people on the free throw line, so it's a gamble. You know, do you risk trying to get steals, and that's how you play, but you're also fouling a lot and putting people on the free throw line. So, you know, I thought we did a pretty solid job of handling the pressure once we settled down. And we were able to use it to get to the free throw line because there was a lot of fouls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think we could have shot more free throws, to be honest.
And then moving on with the fouls, in the final, California Baptist committed 31 fouls. How big were the free throws at the end in the final to clinch the tournament title?
Yeah, huge. I mean, we were trading baskets for a while. You know, they were scoring. We had a couple like transitions where we threw it over the top, or they pressured and we were able to get it over the top for easy scores, or we hit our free throws down the stretch, which was huge. And I actually want to circle back to GCU because I just want to give our, you know, Meg, Lizzie, our post player, some props because, man, Meg was huge that game. And, you know, I think one of the things that I love about this team too is we've had different people show up on different nights, and it's why we've been able to get the job done. You know, if they're going to take away something, then other people are going to step up, and it's just kind of been a statement that we've been able to make all year. But you know, and then going into Cal Baptist, I think that made them really have to key on our post players, and they were doubling, and so it allowed us to do a little bit more getting to the basket, and you know, obviously Sharita had a huge game, but you know, I think we made plays down the stretch when we really needed to.
Yeah, you know, in the semifinal game, Megan Jensen scored 22 points and led all scorers. How big is it to her to, you know, come alive on a stage in this stage like the semifinals, especially since, you know, she's seen GCU throughout her collegiate career, first at Utah Valley and now here at Southern Utah.
Right. Huge. I mean, she's had a couple games like that for us this year where it's like she's just been unstoppable, you know? And so it's just fun to watch and just see her get comfortable. And you can tell when she's feeling it because she'll start shooting those mid-range shots and they're going in. And, you know, she's strong with it. She finishes well. So it's great to see. She has that experience. She has that, you know, poise of being an upperclassman and having been here, done that before, which is nice to see. And you just love to see them, you know, go out and have games like that. It's really fun.
So moving on to the final. So California Baptist is looking at their stats. They're a team that loves to shoot the three-point basket. Right. And when they're on fire and are unstoppable. And when they're not, they happen to, you know, flounder a little bit and, you know, fall behind. So they fell behind early, and California Baptist decided to break out the full court press.
Yeah.
What did you tell the girls? You know, just what was that moment when they started breaking out? Just, you know, would you tell them to stay calm or, you know, passes?
I think sometimes I start to get frustrated, and then it's like, okay, I got to stay calm because I got to calm them down. But I think we just got anxious, you know, like we were trying to get the ball out really quick so that we could get it in. It wasn't getting it in that we were struggling with. It was that trap that was coming that we were struggling with. So I think us being in such a hurry was kind of like adding to the turmoil, you know. So we just talked about like slowing down a little bit, setting up in our press break. You know, we went with 4 guards out there just so we had another ball handler at half court. You know, we moved Tamika to the half court spot and had Sam taking it out. And I trust Sam to take the ball out. She's probably our best inbounder. It's a tough position to be in because you have, people being denied and stuff like that. And so you have to really be comfortable in that spot. And then having Tamika at the half court where she's flashing, we know we can throw her the ball and she's going to go get it. That's one of the things her and Sharita this whole year, like we have put them in tough spots sometimes, throwing the ball and they're going to go get it just because they have that athleticism. So putting her there and then being able to, get the ball over half court and really make a push if we needed to. So I think we just needed to kind of settle down and just get organized in those spots.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And what were you telling the team with a minute left and California about to, cut the lead down to single digits, because it could have been a replay of the Mexico State game where you guys were down 5 or 6 with a minute left, came back and won it. Where are you just telling that team the last minute of regulation, what strategies?
Yeah, I think we just needed to just do what we do, not play into the pressure and the chaos that they were trying to create. And we needed to get a stop on the defensive end. And with a team like that shoots the three, they can get back in the game so quickly, And so we gave up some threes there at the end. We had some silly fouls. They missed some free throws, which helped us out a little bit. But I think, in those times, it's like you really just have to buckle down and come together and be like, okay, we're the ones ahead. Like, we need to be the calm ones. The pressure's on them to try to make moves. So really just focusing on, like, one possession at a time and just being strong with it and handling the pressure.
And in the end, WAC tournament champions.
Yeah, I remember looking at my staff. I think there was, like, 8 seconds left, and we were up, like, 8 or 10 at that point, and I'm like, you guys, I think we're gonna do this. And Katie's like, don't say that yet. Remember what happened in the first game? And I was like, okay, you're right. But just such a cool feeling. I mean, it's so fun.
Absolutely.
So fun.
Absolutely. And now with the NCAA tournament, and how does this open up recruiting to potential recruits who are going to watch the NCAA tournament?
Yeah. It's going to be great for us. It's going to be great for the program. I mean, I think it's, this is the direction that we've been moving. And so to get kind of over this hump of, okay, now we're in postseason play and, something that we can put on our resume here at SUU is huge. We have some great recruits that we're looking at right now. Obviously, the transfer portal is probably going to start going nuts here in the next couple weeks. So, we'll see what's out there. But we return a great group. We have a strong group coming back. So, we're just going to have to pick the pieces up with Sharita not being here. And, Breyer's been a big part of our success and our toughness. And so really kind of losing those two are what we need to make up for. And I think we can do that. It's funny. I was laughing with my coaching staff too. When you start winning like this, the flooding of emails that come in, of people that want to come here now. And so it's fun. We'll sift through those and, see what good is out there. But I'm excited about, the recruiting process. And it's funny, one of my former teammates who coaches one of the players that we have coming in next year, Ava, I saw a picture of her front house and she has a huge SUU flag over her garage. And I'm just like, I mean, this is awesome. Like, helping put SUU on the map, I think, is what this team has done.
And especially at Notre Dame, I've had so many players go to the WNBA. Skylar Diggins comes to mind.
Yep.
Just an amazing place to play.
Yeah,
and
it'll be fun.
How big is it to sweep the WAC in the first year when the team was voted 6th, I believe, in the coaches and 8th in the media, just proving everyone wrong?
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, I don't put too much weight into those things. I don't think they do their research, to be honest, because I don't even know if they knew Tamika was on our team at that point. I was reading stuff from other teams about who was this and who was that, and it's like, do you know who we have? Have you looked at my roster? So I like that. It motivates us a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think we just put our heads down and we just keep grinding, and we know what we want to do. We know what we're capable of, and I think little Lexi, I call her little Lexi because we have little Lexi and Lex, big strong Lex, but little Lexi puts a quote up for us, and her and I were talking before the last game, and our quote was about doubters and just leave them behind you. Just go so far you can't hear them anymore. And I think that's what this team has done is like we've, all the people that doubted us, like we've proved a lot of people wrong. And, from the get-go, I think our circle believed in us, but we didn't have a lot of people on the outside cheering for us. Even going into that championship game, you're seeing stuff pop up, and it's like no one wants to see us win, and I love that. That's fine. We're gonna prove you wrong.
Exactly. And with Notre Dame looking, of course, to prove them wrong, hopefully get an upset win over the Fighting Irish. What are some of the players on their roster that stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a strong team. Transition stuff is going to be huge. We're going to have to handle pressure. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be one person. It's going to be this whole team. Yeah. Like, we're going to have to be ready, 1 through 5, subs coming in, whoever it is. Like, people are going to have to step up, and we're going to have to play one of our best games. We're going to have to come in here. We've been talking about this all year. As we make runs, we have great spurts. We have great halves. We have to have a great 40 minutes against a team like this because they have so many different weapons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And during conference play, there's a little stretch where you had 4 games in 7 days. Does that favor this time in the tournament when you guys leave Wednesday and the game's on Friday, a very quick turnaround from the conference tournament, studying and adapting to what Notre Dame is going to put on the floor?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we do have quite a bit of time right now. We took today off, which is good. We'll have a little bit more rest because, yesterday didn't feel like rest to me. I know we were all back here in Cedar, but it didn't feel like great rest. So we're going to take today off. We'll practice tomorrow, start prepping, scouting report stuff. This is that time of the year, too, where it's like you want to keep everybody healthy. So you got to, break a sweat and get through stuff and go at game speed. But you also got to be really cognizant of, like, keeping them healthy and safe and not too much contact in practice and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And any quick shout-outs, Coach?
Oh, man. I mean, I know I've said it over and over, but that crowd was pretty special. I mean, and the people that showed up Sunday for our selection show, we had people that were driving back to Vegas that day, and we had a great crowd last night. And so it's just fun to have the support of the community, and it just means so much to this team and for our program, honestly, and for recruiting moving forward. I mean, we know we have a huge family atmosphere and a great circle here.
Absolutely. It's surreal to have a team in the NCAA tournament. Little Southern Utah is in the NCAA tournament and just proving everyone wrong. And Coach, what aspects are you telling your team right now just going into this week, resting, studying film? What are you telling your team just to get them focused?
Yeah, I think right now, it's like I said today, it was just, I'm sure some of them are probably watching film because that's just the team I have, which I love. That's awesome. But right now, I mean, they need to get some rest. They need to, hydrate and just get their minds right and enjoy what's happening, enjoy the conference tournament win, enjoy the fact that we're going and the selection and all that, and take some time to enjoy that, and then we'll be ready. We're going to start prepping tomorrow, so we'll go through stuff. That's one thing. I feel like we're always prepared, and then it's about the execution. We know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. We have to execute.
Absolutely, for sure. And also, how big of this is just overall team chemistry-wise, that most of these girls, this is their first time in the NCAA tournament. I believe Meg and Tamika have already been to the tournament as members, Tamika at Idaho State and Meg at Utah Valley.
Correct.
Speak on how their tournament experience could benefit the team overall, because the rest of the team hasn't been on a stage this big before.
Right. Well, I think with those two, hopefully there is like a little bit of a calming effect, like, oh yeah, like this is how it goes, but also the excitement. I want them to understand and appreciate that excitement too. But I do think having, 2 of your starters that have already been there helps, definitely. It's just a great experience, and it's going to be fun for everyone. I mean, from the moment I think we get on that charter, it's like, you feel a little big time, and they should, because they deserve that and they've earned that. So I want them to enjoy that experience. But I also think, I feel like she's ready for this. Like I know she hasn't been on this stage before, but like she's ready for this. And, Dayla too, I think we put a lot of trust into her, and, for Dayla and Lizzie and Sam and some of those guys who they have a couple more years left to play basketball. Like, this is get this under your belt. Like, let's do that this year. And like, this becomes the expectation.
Absolutely. And like, seeing on Twitter, everyone congratulating the team, but also this is also for previous players as well that, just build up the program.
Oh, absolutely.
Rebecca Cardenas, Dari Dotson, just all of those players as well. This is for them as well. Just speak on that and how, foreign players have helped build up this program.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, when I first got here, I think the biggest thing that helped us start to be successful was that you had players that were excited about something new. They were bought in. They were tired of losing. Like, there was a lot of things that had to kind of come into play. It was a great group even that first year, and so I think setting the foundation and having people that believed in your values and your philosophy and stuff like that. And then I think the testament of, is your team in a good spot is, are they saying the same things that you say as a coach? Are they holding each other accountable where it's like, we don't have to come in and always be the people that are cracking down, because you have leadership that's doing that for you. And so, Becca, Dari, like Ashley Larson, I mean, there's so many to go back and just kind of talk about. I mean, Bree Reed, that first senior that we had in that first class that I had here, she was the only senior on that team. It's just been a really great group of individuals, and they've come together, and I think that this is for them too. This really is for them, and we wouldn't be here without them.
Absolutely. And speaking of Sharita, very humble person.
Yep.
Everyone wanted a speech from her yesterday at the selection party, and she just yells thank you, for all support. Just speak on Sharita's leadership this season, and just a couple of the other players who just have led the team or are emerging leaders.
Yeah. Sharita is so competitive, but she's also very humble, and she's also super caring about her teammates. But in the heat of the moment, like, she wants to win. And I think those are great players. They're not afraid to step up and say tough things in tough times. And you kind of have to not be afraid to hurt people's feelings. And I think that's where, like, I'll use Becca as an example. Her senior year, I mean, she was just a winner. Like, she wanted to win so bad that she was going to hold everybody else to that standard. And I think that's what we're seeing from Sharita now too, is like, she wants to win. So she's going to call you out if you're not doing what you need to be doing on the court. And I think Tamika's a lot like that too. She's someone who, she's used to winning. She's come from a program that she was winning. And so, that's the expectation. And one of the things that I think about this team too is, as we've kind of moved to where we are now, it's like we get excited about the wins. We love to win, but we hate to lose. Yeah. I think if you're so excited to win all the time, it doesn't become the expectation. The expectation now is that we win. We're salty when we lose, and that's how it should be. We hate to lose. So that's just, that's where this team is at. We've had wins this year where you walk in the locker room, you would have thought we lost because they were so, frustrated with the way we performed. And I think that just means, we're in a good place right now.
Just lights more of a fire underneath the team to do better every single game,
Absolutely.
Every single quarter, every single 5 minutes
on
the floor. So this Friday, traveling to South Bend to play the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. I believe that's, what network is that going to be streamed on?
I'd have to look. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking ESPN, but usually some other networks run the tournament well.
I'm not sure if they have announced that yet.
3:30 Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m., 1:30 here Mountain Time. For me, Anthony Colasuno, head coach Tracy Sanders, that is a wrap, and good luck, Coach.
Thank you.